this is Larry at the best and reminding you, your imagination rules your world, because what you imagine, you become. What you imagine, you become. Now, what does it mean to imagine? To imagine simply means to think. It means to conjure up. It means to ponder. It means to meditate. Whenever you are thinking, feeling, speaking, touching, tasting, or smelling, you are imagining. That is imagination at work. Imagination is composed of our 5 physical senses, but it's not limited by our 5 physical senses. So, you might be wondering now, what gives you the right to want to talk to us about imagination? I'm glad you asked that question. And by the way, if you want to get additional information about how I got started on this subject of imagination, I am going to suggest that you go to my website and you will see the link on this page to go pick up one of my free reports that actually gives you some fundamental information about how to use your imagination on purpose. But to kind of answer the question briefly, I started on my quest on the subject of imagination back in 1987 when I was introduced to the works, one of the works of Dr. Dennis Waitley, The Psychology of Winning. And as a result of studying that program, I had my first encounter with the subject of imagination and visualization was an outstanding success. And I've been a student of that subject since 1987. And I continually invest my time and effort on learning how to use my imagination on purpose and how to train and help other people do just that. So in this session here, I want to address the issue of why and how does imagination work? Why does our imagination rule our world? Why do we become what we think about? The reason for that, the fundamental reason for that is because you and I primarily are what we call teleological in nature. What does that mean? That simply means we're goal-seeking mechanisms. Without goals, we perish. You've had the expression, without a vision, the people perish. The reason for that is because you and I are teleological in nature. Without goals, if we don't have something that we are aiming for, if we don't have something that we are shooting for, we perish. That's the way we have been designed. That is the reason why imagination works. That is the reason why we become what we think about. Let me put it to you another way that you might even better understand. You all are familiar with a GPS, Global Positioning System. I think that's what GPS stands for. Well, I am sure you will agree with me that a GPS is useless unless you give it a destination, unless you put in an address, a destination where you want to go. Without a destination, without a goal, the GPS is useless, as powerful as it is. You and I are created. As a matter of fact, the GPS was created as a result of how our brains work. So you and I are teleological in nature. And the reason why we become what we think about is because we're goal-seeking mechanisms. When we think, we create. When we speak, we create. When we feel, we create. We are imagination. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions and you would like me to cover some other areas that I haven't covered yet, by all means, let me know and I'll catch up with you in the next recording. And remember, since you become what you imagine, consciously imagine what you want to see in your world. And I'll talk to you soon. Remember, imagination rules your world. Ciao.